Welcome to a brand new episode of the Mike Herrera podcast. Great episode for you. My boys Rufio are joining me, and we got Clark, Scott, and Taylor, the whole band. We talk about really what it's like to be in Rufio and what those guys have been doing, and it gets real. It gets really good, so stay tuned for it. Before you get there, check out MxPx.com. We have a new album coming out soon, Living in the Chaos. We got hoodies, t-shirts, vinyl. Not from the new record quite yet, but soon. But in the meantime, go check out MxPx.com. We're playing all the Warped Tours coming up. We will be, just shortly, we're going to be in Milan, Italy for Punkadeka Festival. That's Saturday, September 5. And then September 13 actually, we're going to be Mexico City for Warped Tour, and then in November Orlando, and then Good Things Festival in December for Australia. We're playing Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane. All right, you guys, it's going to be insane. But until then, enjoy the podcast. I appreciate you guys. Here's Rufio. What up, Taylor? What's up, Clark?
Yeah, dude.
What up? What up, Mike?
Good to see you. Good to see you guys. Man, are you guys feeling spicy today? What is happening?
What do you mean by spicy, dude? We're all feeling spicy.
Well, who you got the microphone on the side like the Michael Jackson, Britney Spears. You're right.
That's what I'm saying,
Spice Girls. I like
I
it.
have to dance for this.
Scott's a diva like that, dude.
You should play shows like that. We should just record like that. Just put the helmet on.
I don't know what you're talking about. I did all my shows like this.
I missed the video on that. That's so good. What has been on your mind as of late? I know you got the new EP. Just so you guys have reference, I'm gonna release this at the end of the month. So August 31st. It's a Monday, and it'll go into obviously September. So it'll be evergreen, baby, evergreen. But it ain't coming out until the 31st.
Evergreen.
Cool.
Yeah. So the new EP, it's great, but what has been on your guys' mind? What's on your mind now? Like what's bothering you? I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
What are you referring to, Mr. Herrera?
I was just talking about the new music. By the way, I've been jamming it, and it with all the stuff you guys have done. And it sounds really good. It sounds nice.
Yeah, so. Dude, it's the first EP we actually had like mixed by a modern producer and shit. So
I think that was the biggest difference was the mix.
Yeah,
is what made it stand out. Yeah,
that's the thing.
I can tell you want to go juicy with this though.
No, I mean juicy. I mean, I like to eat. I got my coffee. I'm ready. Oh yeah, no. This podcast. I mean, that's the thing is like. Some podcasts are all about the tea, all about the juice. Yeah. And I've never, it's always been a natural thing, or I try not to like force things like that. It's just so weird, because I'm not a radio guy. It's
weird to force it. It's it's weird to force it, but at the same time, like it's good to talk about shit.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm sure you had like problems with labels and shit back in the day. No, did you not run into shit?
Without saying anything, real quick, and we'll get into your stuff.
Say it.
I was talking to a friend of mine that's from like the old record business, and he was asking about this person or this person, and I just like started going off, like not a personal thing, but a business, like this person I know, like, and I caught myself, and I was just like, whoa, what just happened? Like. I went crazy. I went spicy real quick.
That's what happened to me on that other podcast. Like the dude just hit a spot for me, and I was like, dude,
yeah,
everything.
Punk rock. I mean, the reason why you guys and us we started punk bands was because we felt wronged as kids. Whatever it was always like, okay, we need to reach out, we need to strike back, and how do we do that? Guitars and drums.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
We put our feelings out on the paper, and I didn't really realize that when I was a kid writing songs that people were going to look at those 30 years later and go, oh, okay, I'm going to judge you on this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but at the same time, like opposite of judgment, like at the same time, you're changing people's lives and you don't even know. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
For better shit. You know?
Yeah. I don't mean to disparage the songs. It's just more of a, I didn't realize people were really going to listen to these songs, you know, and and listening to you guys today, I was just like, man, it brings me back. I remember this one. And then the new EP, like I said earlier, fits really nicely within the canon of what you guys have done. My question, though, why? And I know why, but every band has to have a
First,
why.
Tell us why. First, you tell us why.
Yeah, why do you know why?
Why do I know why?
What do you know?
Because you're a musician and you get it.
Because you've had a lot of life experience, and you need to get those life experiences out onto the guitar, drum, paper scenario with the vocals. I think that just never goes away when you're songwriters, when you're performers. You want to put that onto a stamp, and for me, it's almost like, okay, once I do that, I feel good and I can put it away almost. I've always liked adding another CD to the collection of MxPx albums. I know it's a weird way to say it, but
it's not though.
But yeah, you stack it up and you're like, that's
exactly.
You feel good about it.
There's like more shit to make you kind of like proud of what the shit that you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that's a big part of it too. Like, Clark, Taylor, I've been talking. Go.
Talk now.
Well, okay.
Finish your thought at least.
Finish your thought. You were in the middle of
dude.
something.
You kind of nailed it. Like with the pent up life.
Yeah.
And like it hit a point where like us three have been chilling like over the years, and it just hit a point where I was like, dude, let's make a fucking EP. And then once we started the EP, it's like, damn, we're so much better than we used to be. So we started writing cooler parts. You know what I mean? And then like when I started writing lyrics, I started writing shit more about me and my personal experiences, about anxiety and about my dad's passing and a breakup. Like there's all shit that actually happened to me rather than when I was really young writing that first record. It was more like lyrics that I observed going on around me rather than personal life experience. And now with all that fucking life experience built up, I have shit to write about. You know what I mean? Like from personal experience rather than like an onlooker from other people's experience.
I think that really shows through. It really does. It's what's the song? Maps really stands out. That first single, like I listen to that song and I feel like that song's been around. You know what I mean? Like it just feels like it's just right. And lyrically, it's really, really well done. You guys are just gotten better, I guess. You know, aging like fine wine.
Yeah, I think it was like a perfect storm of the timing of it. Like Scott said, all the life that's happened since Anybody Out There came out, and then not really doing music together. We did stuff like individually or whatever, nothing big, but then like not doing music together for so long, and then like being able to like scratch that itch, and then with what Scott was saying, all those things that have happened since then, all that coming together at the same time kind of just worked out.
And being homies and just writing together felt really fucking good.
Yeah, that was honestly my favorite part, was just I was excited to like, Clark says, oh, I just dropped an idea in Dropbox, and I'm like, ooh, I want to go down there and check that out. Like I was excited to hear what everyone was thinking, what everyone was working on.
You guys have
I mean, for me, I don't.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, no.
Clark, please.
I was just gonna say, for me, I don't think of music that deeply. I just like guitar, so I play guitar down.
You're like, I gotta play guitar again.
That's been Clark. Clark's down there for me. Clark, that's been Clark since I've known him. He's like, I don't care. I just want to play guitar.
I mean, it's
like,
great.
What's the song about? Cool, whatever.
It's a great dynamic to have in a band. Is like somebody that's just down to play and just like, let's go harder, let's go further. I want to talk about the group chat though. Like I've heard this infamous Rufio group chat. Do you guys just text each other back and forth?
Yeah, just texting, talking shit on each other.
Unhinged.
Some of it is kind of unhinged. Clark goes.
You guys talked it up.
Pretty dark.
Yeah,
Clark gets pretty dark sometimes.
I can understand. You're allowed to. Yeah.
But you know, it's our chat where we're talking about like politics and shit. That we're like, like saying the things that we don't want to say, like talking about politics shit, talking about religion shit.
Everybody's got that, and if
and you
don't want that in public.
No.
You know what though? I kind of do.
You want to read some? Pull it out. Read us a little excerpt. Let's see what happens. It's like one of those, like, what's the
How about
eighth?
I wish more of that shit was out, but not me saying.
Oh, right. What's the 9th photo in your camera roll? Just post it. No edits. No edits.
Me posing naked like this.
I was just gonna say that
Because there's like, that's all it
Scott,
is.
Scott to do that.
Is that the group chat? That's all it is? Is Scott just sending
It's
DPs
just
or
me
what?
sending selfies. Yep.
Yeah.
Clark just wants to play guitar, guys. Just leave him alone.
That's it. Yeah.
I sent in that fucking DP and Clark's just all.
Yeah. Oh my God. Snake pit over here. God. So what about practice? You guys don't practice physically in a room together? If you did, the elation, it must seem like it would be fun to actually play these songs, not live, but like together in a room in a dark basement.
See, that's a different thing though. Like, you know, if we got together and was like, yo, let's jam some songs just to jam them.
Yeah.
Like,
what would be
that
the
sounds
first
fun
song?
to me.
What's the first song you guys play when you get together in that basement?
Probably Above Me just because we know it best.
Okay. That's your go-to sound check. Is that your go-to sound check?
Like, oh, let's fucking practice this.
Everybody has a go-to.
Warm up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Go-to used to be White Lights because that
Yeah,
one,
our go-to
I
was
think
White
that was
Light.
White Lights.
Not as fast. It's a little slower. You
Yeah.
can kind of like understand
It's
what's
a good warm-up
happening.
song.
Yeah. That makes sense. We have My Life Story has been kind of our go-to. It's just that mid-tempo thing with the riff and the back. You got backup vocals when you need them. Yeah, it's got everything, and it's not too fast. Yeah, I love
great
that.
song.
So yeah, getting in that basement though, like it is. It's not the same thing as playing, in front of a live audience.
Yeah.
And there are.
You're still loving that shit though. Like you're still jumping around and in shape and like, dude, if I got on stage right now, I'd be like I wouldn't be able to move. Like I would be standing there just playing and singing and I would just be like da 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 da.
Well, you have to rehearse playing live in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go. It's never as hard as the actual show, right? Like you just can't. There's almost no better workout than playing in a punk band or some sort of like high energy, entertainment band. But that's the thing is like you get in the basement. You start playing those songs, you get good at it standing, and then you start moving around.
Dude, but like you said, like it's so different. You can't just like practice. When we practiced as Rufio,
but
you just stood there and played. Like we didn't
I was
move
gonna
around, and then we play a show, and we're all fucking like, "Oh God, my back."
and it's so much more hot.
Me and Clark played in these cover songs, and we would rehearse these songs so many times. It was probably like an hour set or something. And I went through that set so many times, totally unfazed. And we played the show. And third song, I was like gassed. I was dying. I could not drink enough water. I thought I was going to die up there. And it's just a totally different environment. I feel like the practice versus when you have the lights and everything else.
Absolutely, you have to treat it almost like it's a sport. It's like you're an athlete.
Yeah,
Seriously, though, you have to train for that shit.
I mean, you have to like be in shape.
Yeah.
Clark's in shape.
I mean, I've
but we're
heard-
not.
I've heard Bruce Dickinson practices rollerblading around the neighborhood.
Does he?
Oh yeah, I'm sure, dude.
But then you got
Supposedly.
Clark, and he's running like 6 miles a day or something.
Yeah. So Clark, you never have issues.
5.
No, only 5.
So when you're on the stage, Clark, no issues with getting winded. What about dexterity in your fingers? Is it your fingers get tired?
Yeah, my arms get tired sometimes. I actually think because I don't sing, I don't really get tired. You know what I mean?
Sure. I would say there's like lactic acid that builds up a little bit for a few songs for me, like when I'm playing bass. Not MxPx, more Goldfinger because there's a lot more. I'm going more places, but
walking bass the whole time.
Kinda, yeah. And then you just put your energy in different places. If I'm not singing, I'm putting it into the bass. But with MxPx, I'm putting more into probably singing. I would say,
and singing, yeah.
Yeah, just thinking about what's that guy doing? What's that person doing? Stay focused. What's going on in your head when you guys play live, like back in the day? Like, what were you thinking always?
I have a go-to for that. What about you guys? My go-to is don't pass out. Don't pass out.
Don't pass out.
Like, dude, just crazy anxiety my whole life. And
Okay.
being on stage, literally when we first started playing shows, I would sit there playing and like I would look at the ceiling while I was singing because I was just so nervous and like just my anxiety's just through the roof and all this shit. So for me, it was like focused on not passing out. So I would like forget lyrics and shit and like I don't know, just because the anxiety just built up since day one of the band too. It's not like something that just happened out of nowhere. Since day one, like when we toured with you guys, I was anxiety every single show.
Didn't even know.
Yeah.
That's the thing is you kind of, it's like a silent killer. But what's the source of that?
Throw up before every show.
Okay.
I don't know, dude. I've just always had anxiety. Like even as a little kid, like I knew Clark while we were little.
Okay.
And he knows I had anxiety when I was little.
Oh, totally.
What's the worst
Scott
though?
used to not order at
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying when we were kids, Scott would not order at the fast food restaurant. Remember that, Scott?
Yeah, I would like have
Like-
Clark buy my.
Like, Clark,
buy my
I want a
shit for me.
Santa Fe chicken.
Yeah.
So is it public speaking? Is it like anything having to do with people you're not comfortable around, a stranger, therefore?
You know, like I've been trying to figure it out my whole fucking life, and I
figure it out
have
right now.
idea. Let's figure this out. Let's
Turn
figure
this into a therapy
Dr.
session.
Mike.
Dr. Mike.
This is my therapy, these podcasts. I mean, like, I learned so much about other artists, about how they do things, about hopes and dreams, but also fears and anxieties, and it's like,
exactly.
It only helps other people to realize, oh, I'm not the only one. Oh, they go through that too. Yeah.
And you know
okay.
what's crazy, dude? I just started talking about this shit like the last couple years, maybe, and like, because I've been writing about it since like 2018, since I started making like solo records and shit.
Sure.
And since I've been writing about it and like speaking about it in podcasts and stuff, like people have actually been hitting me up like, yo, dude, like it's nice to hear that. And like, even though it's such a fucked up topic, even though it's so shitty and like life, like hindering almost, like it's still kind of cool, like having people hit me up and like sharing their experiences and stuff and like knowing that there's more people going through this shit than just I am.
Absolutely. That's why we do it. That's why we do this podcast, is just like connect with people in ways that we can't even really plan for, honestly. We just do it. And just as much me to you guys is the audience to you, the audience to me, whatever it is that people tap into. But getting into like why you're doing this again, and this is it, it's like let's figure it out. Because there's been times in my life where I'm like, this is my life now, I guess. And then you just live and you overcome whatever it is you thought was such a big deal. And it kind of was a big deal at the time, but it's like we get through it. And I try to remind myself of that when I have those negative thoughts, those negative feelings, those thoughts of I have no value here anymore. My value's gone.
Yeah.
So, with a band like Rufio, you have a lot of value to people listening to your music, and putting out this new thing, it's like just adding another brick to that in a whole new way. So, man, congratulations, one, on, I think people are really digging what you're doing, because I looked up your streaming or whatever, and some of your top songs are actually the new EP. That'll maybe
new ones, I know.
Yeah,
That's
and
really cool to see.
That's amazing to see, and it's very hard to do when you've been a band for as long as you guys have been. So, very cool. Come a long way. So, anxiety. Let's solve this.
You know what? And I was gonna, like, when you were talking about, Mike, your struggles and stuff, I feel like, do you just fall back to music when you hit those walls? Because I feel like that would be your thing, right? And like same with Scott, he uses like music and writing the songs as like the outlet for that. When
For
you
me,
hit
it
those
is.
walls.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I've always used music as my diary, as my journal, as a way to get out my feelings. But also nowadays, between my family, of course, and this podcast, I get a lot of talking, and I can talk to my team, my management team, and we get it all out somehow. And I feel like somewhere along the way, it works. It works for my brain. I don't have mental issues. Like it always it always gets a release valve in some way. And it doesn't hurt that I get to go and play these huge festivals and these big headlining shows.
Yeah.
And you know, in the back of your mind, you're like, someday this is going to end. Someday I won't even physically be able to do this. That's a long time from now, but it's still in the back of your head. So like, there's always, no matter how good you're doing, there's always something that's like ready to push you down.
Was there a moment when you thought it was over, like for you guys? Was there ever a moment in the career when you were like, thought completely like, oh, we're probably done right now?
There's been a couple moments, but again, it's been sort of like those negative feelings take over. You know, you watch reality shows like a survival show or something, and when people get thinking about their family, they get thinking about internal things they've done in the past. You can't do that, you know, because it'll just destroy whatever path you're on. But at the same time, maybe that's what you need, you know, because
I was just gonna say that, but at the same time, like, it's good to take that fucked up shit from your past. And
yep, exactly.
Learn from it and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
and you can use it for your songs, like you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
and like Clark does.
There's never almost like, even if a bad thing happens to you, you're like, okay, I got another good song idea. You know?
Yeah, that sucked. I'm gonna tell everybody about that.
Yeah. I'll tell you guys a little bit more later about what I do to keep mentally safe and strong. But
It's drugs.
Hey, all right. Hey, I'll tell you some things about what Fat Mike taught me. I'm kidding.
Okay.
Kidding.
It's drugs.
It's drugs. No, I'm kidding. It's private jets. Geez, you guys, I don't even know what to say. This thing went off the rails. What do you think about flock cameras?
I have that effect.
Yeah, I think you just give off like that other interview. You just give that energy that you could ask this dude something and he's going to go off the rails.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like I went off the rails.
You didn't, honestly.
I think you did a little.
Maybe a little bit. That's okay.
Maybe a little. But it was awesome.
I was never expecting this to be the family episode. Just based on all of our personalities, but especially you, Scott. Don't mean to single you out. It's so crazy that I don't know if you have anxiety right now, if you're feeling anything.
Nah.
Not at all. Is it because you don't think this is an important podcast?
Yeah. I feel like this is just a whatever fucking why am I here kind of thing. No, Clark's right though. It's because I'm home.
Because you're home.
I'm home right now. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in my fucking safe place, just chilling.
That's probably why, like,
there, my friends are right here.
Okay, being home, and that's why a lot of artists try to make the dressing room into a home, right? You have your writer, you have your brand new porcelain toilet brought in if you're J-Lo. Mm-hmm. It makes sense.
Everything's white.
Everything's just
the white room.
Yeah, the
Everything
white.
has to be white.
That was J-Lo too, wasn't it?
No, that was Mariah Carey, I think.
The baby oil. That seems.
Mike, what's the craziest thing on your guys' rider?
I don't know what's on it now. In the past, I mean, tonic water, right?
That's not even weird. That's the
wild.
craziest thing you have is tonic water.
No, I mean, there's alcohol. There's nothing crazy right now. We try to keep it pretty fresh. Once we realize, that's going to basically kind of come out of our, we get money if we don't spend it.
That's going to cost something.
So we kind of go. We have sandwich stuff.
Were you never that band where you were like, yo, and I want a one full set of Micro Machines back there ready for me to play with? Just like something random.
We asked for.
I know people did that.
We asked for a DVD.
From the 1980s.
We asked for a book. We asked for socks. We asked for T-shirts.
Hey, socks is a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, we asked for all those things for a while, and that was when we were just touring nonstop. You know, you're just like, all right, let's wear these socks.
Bored. We need a new movie.
Yeah, exactly. So, those are the craziest kind of things. Of course, there was a few funny things on there, but honestly, I'm gonna need to pull up some of our past writers. I've got a few, I'm sure.
But our writers, we were stoked when we got a writer.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
Usually it was a case of water. Here's some beers.
It's like you're getting $5, but they're going to give you some potato chips as well. You're like, all right, cool.
Yeah, exactly. Damn, they got us a mini bag of Cheetos.
Yeah. So now we have Sun chips. We have 2 different flavors on our rider. We get a full bag, and then we have all these other chips. We have loaves of bread. We've got deli meat of all varieties and cheeses.
Did the deli shit for a minute.
It's kind of, it's just the easiest thing when you walk into a venue and you've got sound check here or there. Just get a sandwich made, boom. And I don't know, that to me, that's life. Sandwiches are life. And then everything else, pizza you can only do, we do after show pizza, but it's just like, all right.
Give me that sandwich.
Yeah, give me the sandwich. I'm taking the sandwich.
Family's cool and everything, but the sandwich.
Yeah, this is, right? It's like feeding eggs to chickens. I don't know if it actually is like that, but I don't know why I said that.
Dude, chickens love eggs.
They do, right?
Yeah.
How did we get there? That's your next song idea. So, I mean, that's the thing. How do you find value in yourself? Do you have to recreate? Do you have to learn a new value system? Because we grew up in bands learning that you have to have a billion jillion fans, and you have to go play live, and you have to put out an album every 2 years, and you don't really have to do that anymore, but there's that thing in our head that still maybe tells us we do, or other things, right? So what have you found new value in as individuals, as Rufio? What I don't know. I don't know if it's a good question at all, but
for me, I think all my value, I feel is from my family, being a dad, being a husband. I don't really put a lot of stock into the music stuff anymore. I do it for fun, and it's fun when we did this EP, but if it sucked and nobody listened to it, fine. I wouldn't care at all, because that's not really the end all be all for me,
That's
Clark.
That's a good thing, and it's depressing.
For me, it's just making the music is the value for me.
Yeah.
I used to care about fans. We used to care about fans. We still do. I don't want to say I don't care about fans, but now we're not trying to pursue music. So the value right now is making the music itself.
And then fans can enjoy it.
Music. Recording if they get into it, cool, but we're not writing for the fans anymore we used to attempt to anyways.
Sure. The music is the side project now, and regular life is the main gig,
Yeah, I like
when it comes to music, that's the value for me, is just making the music.
Yeah, I like that you guys put out an EP, because to be honest, especially coming out of the gate, people are going to listen to a couple songs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, just these days, the way people listen. So, having that EP, it's digestible. You get through it like that, and you want to put it on again. And then you start actually, I'm hearing these songs, and I'm, familiar with them already, which would be a lot harder with an album, for sure. Yeah. As we're about to put out an album.
You look at full-length albums, it's a bunch of plays, and just literally just like this. Just by the end of the record, there's
that was cool. We saw the streams, and they were all pretty equal. So we know, you could see people are actually listening to it the whole way through.
Yeah.
And with a full length, maybe that wouldn't have happened.
That's gonna be like that with every single artist ever, though. Mm-hmm.
Probably, yeah. I mean, we're still putting out a new record. It just is what it is. But I think that
chaos, living in the chaos,
yeah, and it's just one of those things. Okay, we can put out vinyl, we can do this, we can do the full thing with an album, but it doesn't need to be as long. I foresee our albums shrinking in length as the years go on. It's just let's tighten it up even more. That song's good, but we don't need it.
You guys released that last record was 15 songs or something?
13. I think it was 12 or 13. Yeah.
Dude, didn't Let It Happen have 32?
Yeah, Let It Happen at 32. But that was a B-side. That was just a bunch of things thrown. Yeah.
But even still, seeing a record with more than 10 songs, that's a long record.
Yeah, it is. And we're not getting into the 18, 17 songs like we used to. And that was all we saw Rancid. It was 24 songs. What? Okay, I guess we'll do 19. All right. And it's just I mean, even back then it was maybe a little too much, but hey, never complain about too much music, right? But is stream? You think streaming's gonna die? You know, in the next 5 years, you think it'll stick around? What's next? Anything? No.
I don't know. What would replace it? Yeah. What would replace it? But you would still stream.
I think
streaming is going to stick around.
I don't know.
Yeah, it'll probably stick around, but the money part is just really hard
the money part is awful, dude. It's so fucking bad.
Even the corporations can't make money off of it. That's the problem. It's always got to be a separate business.
Crazy. Like, the only way to progress in this, in my opinion, is to go back. Like,
yes.
For a fair share for artists and shit. Like, I fucking hate the idea of Spotify and all this streaming shit. It's like, I pay $10 and I have every single bit of music that's possibly been released in the last fucking forever.
Yeah.
It's just a cesspool of shit now. Like, you don't have a record that you put on, you have playing in your fucking car all day. Every time you get it, it's the same songs playing over and over. You don't get that connection to any of that shit. And plus, the bands are getting 0.00 fucking 3 of a cent of 1 cent.
Yeah, I'm an and guy. Like, I think bands and artists need to have as many revenue pots as they can, and streaming is just one little one, and then everything, even playing live is one. But it shouldn't
be though. But it shouldn't be like,
sure, right?
Like, you know what I mean? Because like, bands' product really is the music. And now to make money, you need to have other outlets. Like you said, you have to make vinyl, you have to fucking print shirts, you have to make merch, you have to do this shit, the other ways to make money. But the number one thing that bands are is music. And like, you have to it has to change, or it's going to be this fucking, like I said, just a pool of shit. Just everybody throwing their random fucking songs in this.
I think playing live has always been one of those big for revenue, and that's still the same. Like, that's not going to go away.
Well, I think guarantees are a lot better now than they used to be, right?
They are, but also costs are up. So it's really, it's a wash. It's like everybody else. It's like, oh, you make more here, but then now gas prices have gone up. So it's a wash. But I think, that's the world we live in. You have to make more and more money.
Did you guys play when we were young?
Yeah, we did a couple years ago. Yep, we did the two. Yep.
Can I ask straight up, just how much did you get paid for that?
A lot.
Let me know.
But it's pretty. I'll let you know later.
Say it right now. Let everybody know, dude.
It was definitely over. I don't know the exact number, to be honest.
But that seems kind of legit to me. Like, that seems like
there's margins for now. There's margins there that you could live on.
Yeah, and most of the shows are now, like any big festival, it's going to be around that number, and that's the thing. Is
it wasn't for us. Should we tell them what our offer was?
We got an offer it was but they also, like, we had to cover our own costs and everything with that. You know what I mean? Like, we had to cover our fucking travel. We had to cover our hotel.
Flights alone is half of that.
Flights.
And then taxes. Well, we're left with nothing.
We did the math, and it was going to be, like you said, like a wash. Like, we literally would have just made nothing, basically, to do all these 8 shows.
Unless you're going to do more and more shows, it doesn't make you got to do less shows, make more money, more shows. You can figure it out. But I mean, that's the thing, is like, you got to be willing to say no, because that's the only way you're going to eventually get your guarantees up. Yeah, is saying no, because people will always pay you less. No is my only
answer right now, though.
No is your final answer. No
is like just my only answer at the moment.
Sure. That's the thing. Is like, is there a number that would get you off that couch? Probably.
I get that in every single person asks me that.
I mean, that's somewhere in the group chat.
Say yes.
Speaking of the group chat, that was proposed by me and Clark in there somewhere.
Hey, you guys proposed something like 50 grand. Like, let's do a show, try to get like 50 grand. I was like,
I think I said, if you made, what would the number be, like 50 grand to you? Like, if we had a 200.
To me, probably,
But this isn't because we're greedy. That's how it's sounding. Really.
We're not. We're just literally just talking about, I don't want to play. Yeah. These guys want to play. I don't want to play.
Yeah, I would do it for way less.
But if it came down to it, like, yes, buy me a house and I'll play this fucking show.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, don't do things for money. That's for sure. I mean, because it's never worth it.
I'm at the point where it's just like, don't do things that I don't want to do.
Yeah, Absolutely.
I don't want to do that.
It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress to say yes. And now you have to do promo. Now you got to tell people about the shows. You got to practice for the shows. You got to take flights. It's a big job. Like people are like, oh, you just have to play live on stage.
Yeah, exactly. Why don't you just play some shows? Like, dude, that's a lot of fucking work that I'm not used to doing. Like that's going to be new to me again.
Playing the show is actually the fun part for most people. It's like everything else is just not hell, but it's just a job. It's a job. It's work.
Exactly. Sure. Like, and that's what it is. That playing the show is fun.
Yeah.
Like after the show's over, you're like, that was sick.
Absolutely.
But the prep for the show and after the show and the traveling and the fucking money spent and all this shit is just too much for me, dude.
And then like if the flights get screwed up, you're like, oh no. That's always an issue.
Fucking Peru again.
Yeah. Did you guys get stuck in Peru? Tell us about it.
Yeah. This dude was known. The promoter was known for stealing, refunding bands' guarantees.
Okay.
So he waited for us to get on the flight in Peru, and then they called our names. And Taylor Albaugh, Clark Domae, Scott Sellers.
They called my name. So I was flipping out because they pulled me off the plane, and you guys were still in the back, and I was trying to tell them like, hey, like I'm with them. Can you let them know or something? Because I thought I was going to get stuck there by myself. And then, eventually they pulled them off too.
I ended up calling the Brazilian promoter who was in contact with that guy. He wasn't answering his calls. And then like a day later, we found out he fucking refunded the flight money and pocketed it.
He waited till we checked in or something and then canceled the plane tickets.
So crazy, dude. That's so shady. Who fucking does that?
Dude, that is gnarly. That's worse than what happened to me.
Yeah. We have an intermission in the middle.
Yeah. All good.
Have to do this.
Minute and a half. I've got to be out of here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
we were
man.
trying to record the album a few years ago. We used this Zoom thing, and we all had to we did this every 40 minutes. We were restarting. I remember Mike was trying to track drums or something. We had to stop in the middle of it.
Oh shit!
And restart the whole thing.
Take.
You know what? We should have just paid the damn subscription.
Yeah, no, we're cheap.
Yeah, 1 month, it's like a Happy Meal or something, right? Probably.
Yeah.
Anyway, or a couple.
But that's a Happy Meal.
Yeah, true. I am like you guys. I don't want to just pay for things.
I know.
Yeah.
The subscription model.
All the subscription shit, dude. I don't do any of. I mean, for TV and shit, I do for sure.
Of course, everybody has more than they want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, we could go on and on about it. We'll sound like boomers.
but we are. But we are. Accept
No,
it. Let us boom.
Oh no. Oh man. Flock cameras.
I mean,
anyone?
technically, you're a boomer and we're not.
Technically. Damn. I feel insulted, but okay, you're right. It is wild. We've been doing this a long time. We started when we were kids, and you never feel like you're old. You never feel like you're an adult if you're a musician, if you're in this business. Something about it just doesn't feel like a real job. Even when you do well, it's not like, oh yeah, it's not like a real job. But there's plenty of people that have been doing this, management, doing their whole lives managing bands, and it's just like that's a career.
I wonder if they're still feeling like young. You know what I mean? Like because I guarantee till when I die, when I'm 120, I'm still gonna feel like a child. Like I'm still not a child, but like I'm gonna still feel young and want to play guitar and shit.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing at 120, dude? Technology.
Technology. By the time
keep me alive.
That's true. Clark's like, no, I know what you eat.
You know what? He's definitely fucking thinking that right now. He's like, yeah, right. Scott's down at 70.
That's good.
That's funny.
Man, no comment, but I like my cereal at night. It's so bad.
I just bought cereal for the first time in 15 fucking years.
I was listening to some podcast, this was a while ago, but it was like a CEO talking about their daily habits, like some millionaire guy, whatever, talking about eating 8 bowls of cereal at night. And I was like, what? Okay, I don't feel so bad about my 2 bowls.
Yeah. You're doing
crazy.
2 bowls at night?
Yeah, but it's not like a full bowl. It's like you go small, and then because I like the refill. I gotta go refill. Are you trying to?
Do you use
cereal
do you use the
shame
same
me?
milk?
I
have to top off the milk.
I top off the milk a little.
Yeah, you usually have to do a little top off because the milk gets too low and then your ratios are all wrong.
Exactly. You have to set the ratio right, and to make it even better, you got to stand over the kitchen sink and eat it. I don't know. There's something about that, but you can't do it too late at night because then it just you don't feel right. You're like, I'm going to be going to bed in 2 hours. Something's wrong. But
I think you shouldn't stand over the sink. That's where the shame comes from. Just sit down on the couch and do it.
Well,
on the
why you
couch,
feel
watch
shame.
TV like a proper person.
Just own it, dude. Don't even try.
only if you're married do you do that, right?
Yep. Married.
Married
Guilty as charged.
for sure.
Oh man, I do. It's funny. Going back to early life. My mom gave me this book on a recipe book, and it had grilled cheese sandwiches. It was just the most basic thing, scrambled eggs. I'm like, dude, that's why I can't cook. This is the recipe book I got.
Hey,
I can make scrambled eggs.
But can you make scrambled eggs and grilled cheese?
Yes, absolutely.
See, so the book worked and you can cook.
It's like a kid cooking book, and I never went past it. It's like taking elementary school math and never going past that. What's a times table? I'm not sure, but that's where I'm at in life, guys.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm an adult podcaster.
Damn, things are happening for you.
Wow, yeah.
I love that. I love that Sapiens book though. You got.
Oh yeah. I got a couple. This makes me look smart. Thank you.
Looking back,
It's a great book.
Yeah, it is.
Nerding out over the book.
I know.
So you guys, let's tell us what's some books or a book that you could recommend to our listeners. Let's just go with that.
Honestly, Sapiens is one of my favorites. Very
Okay.
interesting.
Excellent.
If you're not a fantasy reader, read Mistborn. It's a fantastic introduction to fantasy.
Fantasy
nerd.
I tried.
Okay.
What was the book? Oh, I told you to read Flyboys. You told me to read Mistborn, and we bought those books.
And
I
neither of us read them.
I got I don't know, a chapter into it, and I was like, I don't know, dude. I remember texting you, I
200
was
pages into that one. It's like,
What is it again? The fantasy book?
Mistborn.
Mistborn, like mist
Mistborn.
in the mist. Born in
correct.
In the mist.
like watery air. Okay,
Exactly.
okay.
That's what the entire book is the science behind watery air.
I was a big fan of like Fellowship of the Rings, Narnia.
Never read it actually.
Never read those
Narnia's
series.
great.
Oh man,
never read Lord of the Rings. I have it, but I haven't read it yet.
Okay, Lord of the, yeah. What was it? The Covenant. Thomas Covenant series. He was. It was another kind of fantasy series. But it was like this guy in the real world has a dream and ends up in this like fantasy world, but where he doesn't have leprosy. So in the real world, like now, he has leprosy, and then so he doesn't have it. It's just like this long series of books that. Actually, it's really good.
Like
it was really good.
He's gonna wake up and he's still gonna have leprosy.
Yeah, not a happy ending. Take me back, and that's the crux of this whole podcast. Leprosy. No, it really is. It's such a weird idea, but like it really was a fascinating series of books. Because I never went into the like Grind X series and all that stuff. That's like. That was a different thing. Like Beastmaster, loved the movie, didn't read the books.
I don't even know what those are.
You remember Beastmaster, the movie?
No.
You've never seen that? Mark Singer is the star. Do you know who that is as an actor?
Was he the Oh Hi Mark guy? Was it that guy?
Mark Singer. Laurie Singer was his sister. Laurie Singer was I want to say, was she in Footloose? She was in some like big.
That name sounds familiar.
It sounds familiar too. Both of their names sound familiar, but I have no clue.
I just want to encourage listeners, go check out Beastmaster if you're into like.
What year is this, Mike?
This is 1980, 81, 82. Like I don't know exactly, but I definitely watched it on a fuzzy cable channel at my buddy's house. You know, we didn't have cable in my house growing up, so it's not that it's not a bad like movie for kids or whatever. But I probably wouldn't suggest kids watch it. There's some questionable costuming, let's say. But it's a piece of my childhood I take forever with me.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh man. So okay, we got Clark, very cerebral. We got fantasy novels. Scott's into fantasy, and then Taylor, what you were into? Flyboys. Is that World War II?
Yeah, it was a World War II book about like just aviation in general and various stuff about it. But I have.
Taylor's actually a pilot now.
You are
aspiring.
Whoa. Okay. So what do you fly?
Oh God. Scott's embarrassing me right now.
Oh my God. Sorry. I didn't know. I don't do research for this podcast.
I'm not a real pilot. I fly on Flight Simulator.
Oh my God.
A lot of hours on Flight Simulator.
Okay.
600 something hours.
Okay.
Yeah. The Airbus is my preferred plane of choice though.
But here's the thing, like, could you fly a fucking Airbus right now if you got in that cockpit? Could you take off, fly it, and land?
Yes, absolutely. Without a doubt in my mind, I could.
So we should all be afraid of you, but also equally like, hey, this guy can save us. Impressed, and he can save us.
I'm not going to do it unless I had to.
Like, we're not going to get in his plane intentionally, but if the pilot dies and Taylor's like, okay, I got this,
and they're like,
Taylor goes takes the cockpit, we're going to be like, okay, Taylor, you got this, buddy. Yeah,
I got this.
So do you have aspirations to eventually get pilot's license?
You know, I thought about it, but it's years and tens of thousands of dollars that I just don't have. If I wouldn't have joined Rufio, I should have done that.
That's gonna take your time, your money, your patience.
Rufio ruined everybody's lives.
Ruined my life. I should have never joined this band because that was the time to do it. It was like 2009.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I would have been a doctor, but here I am.
Oh my God. I know. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad. I chose punk rock.
You were
musician.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
what are you talking about, college? I'm going to be in a band.
I'm going to bring happiness to people, and it is going to bring me no money.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to make me miserable, but I'm still going to do it.
A lot of anxiety coming my way. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Well, amazing. So you obviously don't have an anxiety problem, but does it give you any anxiety with the flight simulator, or is it like no stakes because you're like, I could just crash this plane anytime, it doesn't matter?
No, not really.
It doesn't keep score. It's not going to like go on the internet. It does go on the internet, kind of.
You can. There are parts of it that you like do these challenges and stuff, and you try and butter the landing. But if you don't, no, there's no stress.
That's probably how they're going to hire, how companies will hire all their people from, now to the future, is finding scores on certain video games for certain jobs. Yeah.
I just saw something. They were talking about air traffic controllers. They were hiring gamers to do air traffic control because they already had like a general understanding of it. And
dude, that movie, that racing movie, what was it called? The car movie?
Was it F1?
No, not that
Gran
one.
Turismo.
Not that one. Gran Turismo, yeah.
Game.
They actually got a gamer joined this pro racing, like real life racing team.
Yeah.
And he fucking won.
Whoa.
Yeah, I saw that.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
It's just cool because it's like, I don't feel like it's like a game. It is no stakes, but it's a simulator, but it's just really fun to me because like you're learning something.
Yeah.
And it's not a useful tool at all because I'll never hopefully never have to be in a position to actually land a plane.
Never say never.
It's useless knowledge, but it's still cool. It's still
is it useless knowledge? I mean, that's the thing. It's not fake, so it's like real. It's not like you're learning fake facts, right? Like you're learning.
No, that's true. Yeah.
The real plane.
Yeah.
So if anything,
and like the physics and all the, the flight surfaces and stuff like that, how it all works. It's interesting to me.
It's just a long shot insurance policy. Let's call it that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Clark should chime in here because he's the one that actually was ready to take his pilot's license.
Oh, it was like 20 years ago, though. It was a long time ago.
Still did it. You did it there.
I got nothing. It was very expensive.
Yeah.
Fizzled out. You're like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore.
Clark was the only one my wife got me for our anniversary one year, like the 1 hour introductory flight thing. And I was like, hey, Dad, they let you have a passenger. You want to come up with me? He's like, who's going to fly it? I was like, well, me and like an instructor. He's like, I think I'm good. Clark immediately was like, oh, yeah, I'll go up with you. I'll do that. Hands down. Clark was homie number one.
All right. You got it.
That's right. That's right, Taylor.
That means a lot.
You.
20 years later, you're like, or I don't know if it was 20 years, but yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
He's like, if you start hedging your bets on, does it really matter if I die at this point?
Yeah.
Oh man, I've heard, I shouldn't even bring this up, but I've heard stories about like grandparents possibly getting credit cards and going on trips because they're closer to the end of life, and so they're like, I'll just make the minimum payment from here on out. We're good to go, right? Think about it. I mean, bands could do that when they're like, we might break up eventually, soonish. Let's just go for it and
let's just burn this huge budget,
burn it down to the ground.
True though.
Get that lighting show you always wanted. Man, I mean, that's the thing. When you give people something such as your new EP from the outside, Rufio fans are going to want more. That's heartbreaking. It's a good thing, but it's like, the more you give, the more they want, right?
It's true.
Does that ever enter into your mind when you're putting out an EP? It's not your job to like communicate everything to everybody at all times, but you are here on the podcast, so you have a chance to.
Well,
that was part of doing the podcast and stuff for Scott anyway. He wanted it to be known to everyone. We are not going to play shows. We're not going to
be playing shows. We're not going to be pursuing music. We're not going to be pursuing anything.
Unless you guys got a house for Scott.
Yeah, unless you got a house in the car.
Buy me a house. I'm in.
You other guys are shit out of luck, though. Sorry.
We have to do it for free so that Scott can get a house.
I'll invite you guys over for a BBQ.
Housewarming.
Fun.
Just bring him a sandwich, Clark.
The best thing about writing this EP was that because there's no fucking expectations, there's no talking about touring, we're not going to tour. That's it. You know what I mean? So there's nothing after this. We just wanted to write the EP and put all of our energy of this EP just in the EP. We didn't have to think about all these plans of all this later shit, all that stuff. And it was like refreshing. Like it was really refreshing. Like Clark wrote more on this than he has in probably our entire Rufio career, right?
Yeah, probably.
And like, it was just like really refreshing, not caring about what we're doing, just writing and recording whatever we want for us. Again, I care about the fans, but at the same time for this EP, I don't.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like when you take away some of those things that clutter your mind and clutter your thoughts, it really clears out a lot of space. And I just from experience, there's certain things that go away, like, okay, we got to do this. If one of those or two of those things don't end up happening and you have time to not have to prepare for those things, man, it takes so much off your plate. It's so nice to just like not have to worry about this or that and just focus on a new album. So like I can completely get that.
Even with those other things off the plate, when I think the day it came out, I was thinking about it like this was still a lot of work just to do a 5-song EP. I was thinking about like all the stuff the label was doing, and I mean, our part was kind of the easiest part, just recording. That's all we had to do.
I had a lot to do on the production shit, though.
Well, yeah. Our meaning me and Clark. Scott did a lot of stuff.
I was gonna say me and you, Taylor, had it easy for sure.
Yeah, we had the easiest job. But I was thinking about that. Imagine if we were like preparing to do a tour, or if this was a full length, and there's just exponential more things, more work that would have gone into it, and it was still a lot just for this.
Yeah, you kind of realize, oh yeah, this can be fun if we just don't like choke ourselves with too much work, because it's like every little thing creates new little jobs here, and the checklist for this and that, and like you forget there's something that always gets forgotten, and you're scrambling at the last minute.
And dude, it's not something to. There's always a ton of shit that just is just not thought about until it comes up, and it comes up, and you're like, "Fuck, we have to drop another $1,000." You know what I mean? Like, just budget adds up, like time adds up, and like, yeah, everything adds up.
Yeah,
just managers are smart, but we're not.
Yeah, we didn't have the money to pay for a manager either.
yeah, exactly.
Well, before we wrap it up, I wanted to talk about, that song "Last Goodbye," and it felt different than your average Rufio song, and it didn't seem like a goodbye, like we're going away, but just a song that was maybe it is a personal song to you, Scott. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. That was a breakup song, and like it kind of intertwined. Like all my songs now, like going back to anxiety again. All my songs kind of intertwine with a subject and how I deal with that subject. Mm-hmm. And that song is about a breakup and how it kind of affected my anxiety. And it was weirdly like freeing almost after the breakup. I'm not saying like, yeah, the breakup was great. Yeah, fuck her. It's not like that. But we're still cool and shit. Like, but I mean, like life moves on, and now I'm less dependent on somebody else, and in a way that kind of helps me with my anxiety and like being more independent, relying on myself for just life in general, going out and doing shit on my own decisions, just without that dependency.
Got it. Yeah. I mean, it was a cool song. I liked it. So,
musically, that was a lot of Clark.
Okay.
In that song too. Because like that verse, that 90s guitar vibe, and
that song was different because Scott wrote leads for guitars. Usually he sends me rhythms and I write leads. He wrote leads and vocals, and like, you sent me leads and vocals. That's weird.
Yeah,
so I had to write. So like, I had to think backwards. Like, I'm gonna write rhythms under leads.
I kind of did that on purpose though. I kind of did that on purpose. Like because I had just had the lead riff, and I could have been like, Clark, play this. But like intentionally, I wanted to be like write that little do that part. Just send you that and just see what you did with it, and it turned out cool.
Sure.
And that chorus part that Clark did ended up being like he had a lead part for the chorus, and then me and Scott, I think we just both adopted that for what our parts were too, right? Wasn't that song?
It was the bridge.
That's the bridge, I think.
Oh, the bridge, yeah.
But yeah, it was that song. Like I started with a part, and then Clark did like a lead over it. And we were like, dude, that sounds sick. Like
we were like,
let's change
that's the
all
part.
the music to that.
Yeah.
So we like changed the entire bridge to that, and like kind of followed Clark on that part.
That's rad, dude. I mean, that when things like that kind of happen, it's nice as musicians, as somebody like you guys that have so many songs. You've done it this way. You've done it. You're trying to come up with like a little subtlety here and there,
Yeah.
So I think it worked.
It's kind of hard though, without just like going so far off the fucking path. It's so hard to make those like subtle changes without it just sounding too far off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Well, hey, by the way, for those that don't know, we actually toured together in South America, MxPx, Rufio. It was an awesome tour.
And Panic with the K tour.
Yeah, that's right. Was it really?
Do you remember on that tour? Do you remember when we covered Punk Rock Show and you ran out on stage? Maybe not. It was the last show of tour, and we were like, dude, we have to do a tour prank.
Okay.
And so we sat backstage right before we played, and we were like, trying to figure out the song just like by memory, because whatever, and we were like whispering it, and we went on and played our last song. We closed with Punk Rock Show, and I look over to the side and I just see you running at me like and I was just like, oh shit, he's about to beat my fucking ass. But you come over and you took my guitar and you put on the guitar and left me naked with a fucking mic. Thank you. And you played the rest of the song with us for the ending of that song, and I thought that was really fucking fun. Actually, that was like one of my favorite memories of just like tours in general.
That's awesome.
Your song and having you come up and just be like, "I'm gonna beat your fucking ass."
You thought I was too. Like
I knew you wouldn't, but just like the face, you were just like, you had the aggression going, dude. Just like, I'm gonna grab that guitar and I'm gonna play it.
Oh, that's funny.
You know?
That is hilarious. I wish somebody had video of that. Maybe somebody does somewhere. That's so funny. Yeah, that's great. I mean, you guys are huge down there. People love you in Brazil, Argentina, Chile, everywhere.
You guys had good shows down there.
Yeah, it was great. It was great to do that with you guys. Man, thanks for doing this. Thanks for being on. Congratulations on the new EP.
Man.
Yeah, dude, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. I know, you guys are doing your thing down there, but come hang out. Come hang out at, when MxPx is down south. I know you're in, is it Rancho somewhere? Or
Rancho Cucamonga.
Cucamonga. Yeah. There's a lot of books and movies about that area, I feel like.
I think just Friday is the only one that I know of.
Well, and it's like in a lot of things, like mentioning names like all the way to Rancho Cucamonga, like they use it as like that place isn't real kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
there was a series.
It sounds like it's not real.
There was a series that took place in that town where this
wasn't it?
It was like it was like a kid that also saw dead bodies, or I don't remember exactly the.
I don't know about that.
No, there was a show. What was that show? It wasn't.
I know what you're talking about. It's that fucking guy. I don't know his name.
It was like workers. Or, I don't know.
Yeah, workaholics.
Oh,
workaholics.
Yeah, that.
Right. It did take place.
Starring the one dude.
You guys should know more about your hometown. Come on.
No, I don't think we really fucking just care about it, to be honest. Like,
no, don't say that. Come on.
We ain't got no fucking Cucamonga pride.
See, I think I know most of the things that have happened here in Bremerton, Washington, because it's like this is my town. So we've got a few basketball players. We've got a few Olympians. We don't really have any. We have a few bands, but they're not bigger than us. So it's like, okay, I think we're good. The Sonics, by the way, were, because they were like the original sort of punk band in a way back in the 50s. The Sonics were from Bainbridge Island, so I don't consider them Bremerton, but they
you're
were very
still
cool.
good. So
we're good.
Still like
we're good.
Still have the Bremerton
strong. That's all you guys.
Yeah, I think you guys got Rancho Cucamonga. Let's go.
Oh, we for sure have Rancho.
I would say so.
Like that, there's no question about that.
Hey, my advice to you: if you want to become a big band, move to a smaller town.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll be filling all the coffee shops.
There you go. Hey, you got to start somewhere.
And we did at the coffee shop.
All right, fellas. Anything you guys want anybody to know before we sign off?
Nah,
we're good. I think we covered it.
Thanks, Mike.
I'll bleep if needed, but I think we covered it. All right, always great to hang and see you guys. So much love. Hope to see you soon. Come hang.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll see you, man.
All right,
thanks, dude.
Peace.
Thanks.
All right, I want to thank my guests. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Clark. I appreciate you guys. Great stories, great conversation. Check out the new EP from Rufio called From the Outside, and the key track, the single, is called Maps. Check that song out for sure if you think about it. All right, you guys, if you want to call in, leave me a voicemail, 360-830-6660. It's been a minute, but I will be doing voicemail episodes again soon, you guys. All right. That's about it. Shout out to my producers, Bob McKnight and Christine Hall. Love what you do. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the podcast, share the podcast with a friend that likes podcasts and likes music and maybe likes Rufio. All right, you guys, until next time, MxPx.com, baby. Let's go.